In today's interview, we talked to Cheng. He is a Muay Thai fighter. He's a stuntman, actor, content creator. And today's conversation went somewhere I didn't think it would go, which is into a lot of his spiritual philosophy on life at the moment. And I think as a young 24-year-old man, it's a really interesting spot to be in. I remember when I was in that same position and what it taught me. And we go into a few topics around ideas that I evolved when I was his age into where I am now, and our differences in opinions at the different stages of life. So if you're struggling with motivation, discipline, trying to figure out your way through life, being bullied, and how to overcome those sorts of things, then this is a podcast to listen to. All right, man.
Cool.
Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, good to be here, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Why don't you quickly introduce yourself and then we'll get into it.
Sweet. Hey, guys. My name's Cheng. I'm 24 years old. I'm a Muay Thai fighter. I'm a stuntman. I run marathons and I also do content as well.
I love that. I love that intro. That's a great one because I've watched your content. And I've watched it for a little while now. But I didn't actually, I think I just watched all your skits, right? So I didn't really know that, you did Muay Thai, doing all the stuntman stuff.
I kept that stuff pretty private,
Yeah.
That was just stuff I didn't.
Really
I just saw it as a job, so I didn't think I needed to put it out there, really. So.
Nah, I think it's pretty cool because the guys were in the brief that they gave me.
Yeah.
They saw the stuff and they're like, bro, he does this and he does that and it's all this other crap. So, so we'll get into that.
Yep.
But like I said to you off camera, take me back. Where did this content creation part of your life start? When did you first start making things?
So when I was 8 years old, it kind of started off as watching TV shows, you know, like watching TV shows and watching Jackie Chan movies as a kid.
Yeah, nice.
And so from there, I just kind of pretended I had a camera because as a kid, we don't have money. So all we could do is pretend with our siblings and just pretend you have a game show by taking rubbish bins, putting it there like a little game show, taking pieces of paper and making fake questions and answers, you know? So that's where it all kind of started.
I love that. Yeah.
And then from there, I got into editing when I was 10 years old, making Facebook videos for zombie shooting Nerf videos, like those Nerf gun skits and stuff. And from there, just...
Wait.
Yeah.
How? At 10 years old, how did that come about?
So my mum brought my little sister an iPad.
Yeah.
And I was like, where's my iPad? I'm the oldest, but... I just used her iPad, went through and I just saw people making videos on YouTube and I just kind of got interested in that as well. Plus I've always loved acting and Jackie Chan and all that kind of stuff too. So I was like, how are these people doing this?
Yeah.
Surely I can do it too. And there's little kids out there doing it. Why can't I do it too, So it just came from he can do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
That's all it is really,
that's pretty cool. So how did that first couple years or year or so go on that Facebook video? Were you just doing it some fun or did
it was just for fun. It was just because me and my siblings weren't allowed to leave the house. Okay. My mom was real strict on us staying in the house and making sure we were always safe all the time. And so for us, what can we do except just play on an iPad and do that? And games are kind of boring. So yeah. As a kid, games should be the most fun part. But for me, I just didn't really enjoy it as much. I liked creating things.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's just where it all kind of came from, eh?
Nice. That's so young. And then so as you grew up, where did that then take you? What was the next stages of your creation?
I found out about YouTube.
Okay. And
then from there I started uploading Lego videos on I still got them all on my old ass YouTube channel of me making Lego videos. Yeah. And then from Lego videos it went into little stunt videos with my little brother. Yeah. We made a series called Death Fight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 where it was different types of styles of martial arts fighting each other. Yep. But they're trash. Yeah. It's like you can obviously see the punch doesn't land here and the music doesn't match here. Yeah. The scenes don't continue properly. Yeah, there's no proper stunts with 10. Yeah. So from there
that's cool though.
Yeah. So I got into that and then I got into YouTube properly during school. Yeah. Kind of me and one of my mates kind of did all our assessments in term 1. So for 3 other terms we could just mess around. Cool. And so I just kind of got into YouTube vlogging from there and just did daily vlogs at school. Yeah. So that's kind of where it came from, mate, to be honest.
That's awesome. And so when did it turn from just a little hobby into something you're like, man, this is it. This is what I'm going to do moving forward. Because you do lots of stuff.
Yeah.
But when did you start to realize that actually I can be an actor, be a stunt person, be a content creator? Was it all the way back then?
Bro, I've always believed in myself.
Yeah, cool.
Even when I was a kid and people were bullying me and telling me that I couldn't do anything or looking at me strange or me saying, nah, trust me, in 5 years time, if we do this now, then we're going to be here in the future. Yeah. People were like, bro, shut your ass up. Bro. As kids, we don't really have the concept of what's in the future, what's next, how does this impact how we are? But for me, I'm like, nah, if I want to be like this one day, I got to do this, you know? So it's just the same with working out.
Yeah.
I started off doing 100 push-ups a day as a kid. And then from there now it's just kind of progressed to where I am now. So I always thought about longevity as a kid.
Where do you think that came from? That's not normal. I mean, it's still not normal. Like guys in our team now, like we talk about that a lot actually, about like planting the seeds now for like future stuff. And like, it's not a normal human trait.
Well, as a kid, when I was getting bullied,
it
was a lot of, you can't do this, you can't do that. No this, no that.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, I liked proving people wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I like, and proving myself wrong as well.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it?
Got it.
Why can you do it, but I can't do that?
Yeah.
That's kind of where it all came from. Why can he do this, but I can't do it?
Yeah.
We're both human. You bleed the same blood. And that's why I fight as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same. You bleed the same blood. Why would I be scared of you?
Yeah.
We're both going to jump in the ring and fight regardless. If you win, you win. If I lose, I lose. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
You know, it's facing that challenge. It's doing the thing that you're supposed to do and know that you're supposed to do yourself. But most people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They're kind of scared, you know, and that's good. That's fine. Because then that leaves room for people like us to grow even more, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I see it really.
I love that. I love that. So was that quite hard growing up like that? Like when you look back at it, or do you think it was quite young that you made that decision to just have that mindset? Or do you remember it being pretty tough to push past those people saying you can't do stuff?
I've never really listened to what people thought of me anyways. Like regardless, like I used to be really selfless. When I turned 15, I became a real selfless person.
Yeah.
Just caring about other people.
Yeah.
But then I realized all of that was just coming back at me, not for me. And, you know, I was losing friends here and there. And I was like, why am I losing so many friends, caring about so many people, trying to do so many things for other people, like say my family, for example.
Yeah.
And from there, I just became selfish around 21, 22.
Yeah.
And just focused on just me.
Yeah.
You know, more me. Who cares about the noise? Who cares about the noise? It's just noise anyways.
Yeah.
You're going to do the thing you're supposed to do anyways, regardless of the noise being there or not. So why not just do it?
Yeah.
You save yourself the energy by just doing the thing, you know, and not listening to the noise.
Yeah.
So that's just my mindset with everything.
No, that's cool. I like it. It's interesting, bro. Let's explore a bit. Like, so you had this, as you said, became more selfish.
Yep.
How did that change like relationships with people?
It definitely changed a lot of relationships in terms of who my friends were gonna be, where I was gonna be, who was actually gonna be close with me. But I've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I've even lost family. But to me, that's normal.
Yep.
Like I know the game. I've watched a lot of documentaries on people that are trying to make it or people that have made it.
Yeah.
And you tend to lose a lot of friends and a lot of people as you're trying to come up.
Yeah.
But that's only because a lot of people, they just don't support you and they don't believe in you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, okay, sweet. As long as you let me know now, I can cut you off now. I don't have to worry about it anymore because I have the people that actually care about me around me. And that's why it's better to have a small circle than like a large circle of people that you're like, hey. Rather to have like 3 or 4 small friends that actually care about you rather than a whole group, you know?
When you say you cut them off or like they know like you lost a friend or lost family, in your mind, like what does that mean? Like what does it mean to lose a friend or family? What's the interaction look like?
Well, the interaction just looks like less energy, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, I like to dig deep into everybody.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, hey, how's your day? How are you? How are you doing this and that?
Yep.
And sometimes I don't get the energy back. I'm like, this person doesn't really care about me.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just doing their own thing. And I'm like, sweet, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're not meant to be in my life right now. Or you're just not meant to be in my life at all. But for the ones that do ask, or the ones that I ask the question to, they tend to come back.
Yeah.
Those are the people you want to keep around you. The ones that ask you, how are you? How are you feeling? What are you doing? What are you up to? Bro, you're doing so good. Or bro, you're doing so bad. Or you shouldn't be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. You want to keep those friends around because they're going to be honest. You don't want to keep the yes men around, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not really that there's like a conflict at the point when you lost them?
There's
it's
no
just
conflict.
Like, it's just like, okay, stop.
Yeah, it's just stop.
Yeah.
Just like, there's no anger, there's no jealousy, there's nothing there. It's just more, okay, like that's life.
Yeah.
For me, life is just moving forward, you know?
Yeah.
Because why would you dwell on the past when you could look in the future? If you get stuck in the past, you're going to bring that into your future. That's so not good.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's a real interesting position to take. I think I think if like you talk to a lot of my staff, they'll probably like say there's similarities with the way that I think about things. I think like the difference, what I learned like when I was young, I was kind of similar, especially when I was about your age actually.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe a little bit older. I was the same thing. Like I started I was like 28 or something, 27. And I started to like worry about myself more.
Yep.
So I used to be like the party boy, hang out with everyone and everything. And I sort of started taking my life back.
Yep.
And I lost a lot of friends, as if you'd say.
Of course.
Because I was focusing on myself. And I think what I then realized is that the thing for me that changed probably in the last like 3 years is that I realized that like to be in a relationship with someone, which is just like a friendship, family, whatever. I didn't need to be, I didn't have to be on the same level as them. But I could still have a relationship. And like, I found it like with my brothers actually the hardest.
Yeah.
So when I first moved back to New Zealand, I started this business at like a little over 4 years ago now, 2019.
And how's the business?
I mean, the business has been going awesome, right?
That's
like,
good, bro.
You know, like
congratulations.
Our business has been awesome. Like it was just me and my mate's spare bedroom.
Yeah, nice.
And now you've seen it, bro. There's like 30
congratulations,
people here.
Bro. It looks like you made it work for yourself.
Yeah, and it's been crazy. And like I had all the ideas and I knew I was going to do, but like with my brothers, I was like trying to tell them, like I had all these ideas. This is what you need to do, blah, blah, blah. And I was trying to tell them. And they weren't really matching the energy or giving it back. And they were just like, whatever, Sam, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. And they got me really upset. Like I was like, well, not upset, but like, I was like, you fucking idiots. Like, why aren't you doing the thing? Blah, blah, blah. And I kind of like put a lot of, they weren't matching it, right? Like you say, what you're giving out, they weren't giving it back.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until later on that I was like, actually, it's 100% okay that they didn't match me. And in fact, like, they shouldn't have matched me, right? Like,
what made that click? Like,
it made me realize that like, when you're at a level playing that I want to play at, right? Like the guys will tell you, like my ambition as a business owner is to be the richest person in the world. And the reason isn't to have the money.
Yep.
The reason is because like there is no real way to measure business success.
Yep.
So I've got an arbitrary number, which is just have more than everyone else. And at some point that's got to have some measure of success, right?
Of course, yeah, definitely.
So it's like a scorecard, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, if you're going to play at that level, you can't play with anyone else because there is no one else.
Exactly.
But then if there's no one else, then who is there? Then it's just you. And then that made me realize, well, I don't want a life where it's just me. Because if I actually am going to be the best, then no one can match your energy ever.
Yep.
Because there is no one who could be better up there with the best, because the best is one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what changed. And then like my wife and I, obviously she was involved.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I obviously want you always around.
Yeah.
And we're doing this together. And I was like, I don't want to be in a life. I don't want to get all the success and not have friends and family around. Yep. But I also knew none of my friends and family will ever be on my level. Yep. They just never will be.
Yep.
And they'll never match my energy. They'll never care about the things I care about the way I care about them.
Yep. Because only you're living your own life.
Only me.
So you'll only understand what you're going through and how you're feeling.
Exactly.
Everyone else will be like, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just do that?
Exactly.
You're like, bro, it's not that easy. Like the stuff I'm going through is so hard, you know?
And they'll continue to do that forever. My mum still does it. My brother still does it. My family, my friends, my staff.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, sometimes my staff are just like, can't we just chill for a bit? Like, can't we just like, you know, or do we always have to always evolve?
Yep. You'll be your own worst critic, bro, honestly.
And so what it taught me is that like, actually, there's no point like in me losing these friendships and stuff, because like I'll lose all of them otherwise.
Of course, yeah.
And then I'll be real lonely one day. And like, that's not, I think I just as like age, I realized that like, if I really want to go for this, there's no one's going to be able to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, and like that's a pretty arrogant thing to say, but like you have to just kind of be like, yeah, well, I'm going to hang out with people who'll never want the same things I want. And like they never match my energy. They'll constantly criticize what I do. Yeah. But that's okay.
Do you have an end goal?
For me personally, like, so being the richest person in the world is like a milestone achievement of like, well, to get to that point, I must have done something big.
Yeah.
The second sort of milestone after that, if there was one, it was to have the largest company in the world by market cap.
Yep.
From a business perspective.
Yep.
But actually, like, I already got my end goal, bro.
Yep. No, that's good.
I'm already doing whatever the fuck I want whenever I want.
Yeah, you're already doing what you want
with my wife. Like, we can do whatever we want. Like, our life's great. Like, actually fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, every day, like, my wife like cracks up sometimes because she'll like turn over and I'm like just lying in bed smiling. She's like, "What are you smiling?" I was like, "Bro, my life's so fucking good." Like, actually so fucking good. Even as grumpy as I get, like, my life's actually the best.
Yeah.
So there is no end goal because I already got it. But I have milestones of like achievement. Like, I'm real ambitious. Like, you want stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just an interesting thing. Like, because I used to be very much like you. Like, I had lots of friends who were like, bro, fucking fuck off or keep up. And then I got to a point where I was like, no one's going to keep up. Like, they're just never going to keep up. And every time I feel like in this business journey over the last 5 years, I've had like peers with me along the way, and then they stopped. And then I kept going. And now they're no longer peers.
And that's life.
And
that's so normal.
But
it's so normal.
I didn't want to lose them as friends.
Yep.
They just were no longer peers.
Yeah. And that's okay. But people take it as, oh, he doesn't want to be my friend anymore. And oh, he's off doing his own thing. He's never got time for me and this and that. But it's not that. It's, bro, we've both got different lives. We're both turning into adults now. You know, we're entering the phase where we kind of need to find our own thing and do our own thing now. What's the problem, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I not appreciate you from afar and you just appreciate me from afar and we just do our own thing? Or is it always going to be, oh, you're ditching me to go and make $1 million and I'm right here doing the same thing every single day? You know, it just stems to them not doing the things they want to do, and that's why they're so mad about it.
It's their own insecurities.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think people eventually they get over it themselves. They grow up as well. I think there's a lot of like jealousy when you're younger. I think the older you get, both you and other people start to chill out a bit. I think like over the last sort of 4 or 5 years, you know, I was like 32 when we started this, and now I'm 37. And even in that time frame, like how much I've chilled out about things and how much my friends have chilled out about my family, you kind of just grow up and you're like, yeah, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
But I tell you right now, if I was doing this when I was 24, your age, I'd still be testosterone fueled. Fucking fuck you, bro. You fuck off. You know? Like,
no, I get that.
You know, but it's just interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to this, but
sure.
I want to get the rest of the story. So when did this, like, when did the attention start coming to you? Like, when did this like first start? Like, people like, you know, quite a lot of viewership, and you're starting to attract a lot of people watching your shit.
I think I was 16, 17.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I started on YouTube.
Yeah.
The attention was locally there, like with where I was, South Auckland, right? At school, vlogging. Everyone around me was supporting me, you know? And then a lot of people that weren't supporting me either, you know? So it's normal. For me, the first time I ever had attention, it was weird. Yeah. For me, it was like now I have a little ego. What's this? Yeah. Oh, this is cool. Let me roll with it a little bit. And then when I got my first gig on Disney Mulan in 2018, doing extra fighter work and all that, I kind of had this ego of like, fuck, I'm better than everyone else, you know? Like, but then it kind of hurt a lot of people around me. And so I took a little step back and just kind of went, wait, I'm the same as you. We're both humans, so who cares? Like, who even cares, you know? Yeah. Like, for me, it was like, who cares? Like, regardless of what you think or what I think, we're both human anyways, and we should just live our lives and do our thing. Like, how you are. You're just doing your thing, bro. You're 32. You started this company by yourself. You're doing your own thing. Yep. Even if your brother was to tell you, don't do that, or why are you doing that? You'd still do it anyways because you'd want to do it. Exactly. You know? Yeah. So it's like that. It just stemmed from that, really. Okay. So you're like, what, 18, something like that, doing Mulan, something about that age? And then what after doing that, like, what was that experience like? Like, wait, first of all, how did that experience come? So I left school and then I went to uni for one day and I was like, what's the point of this? Like, why do I need to go to uni for acting? I kind of looked ahead in time and went, if I waste these 3 years, for me personally, like, not saying everyone should just drop out of school and go and pursue something, but for me, I was like, why am I even going to uni to pursue acting when half the actors that I've seen or like researched about didn't even go to acting school? I could just go out and do it myself. It's more about experience anyways. And so for me, I just got an agent and then 1 week later got Mulan. Really? Yep. Funny. Just like that. And from there, I've just, you know, you meet people that have the same energy as you when you're doing the same things that you love and that they love as well. And from there, you just build the connections. Cool. You know, and that's what came from that after doing Milan? For a year or two, I was just kind of like just doing little gigs here and there, you know, meeting people here and there, just kind of, cool. Yeah. But then after that, I was like, bro, there has to be more to life than just chilling out, you know? There has to be more than just doing one movie. Yeah. But yeah, for me, I've always chased more. Like you, I want more. I want to chase more. I want
What
to
was
do
that more? What were you going after?
Everything.
Yeah.
It's nothing specific. I just want to be the best at everything that I'm doing for myself.
Yeah.
You know, not just like, I want to be better than you at you trying to reach $1 million in your company or anything. It's just, I might not reach your level, but as long as I know I've done it for myself, I don't even care about everyone else around me. Like, I don't care what they think. Yeah. I've made it work for myself. I've made $200,000 in 1 year. That's for me. Yeah. I'm happy, as an example, you know? And you'd make $1 million, but I'll never compare you to me because
of course
that's where people go sad and angry and jealous and depressed, is when they start to compare people. And I'm like, but why do you have to compare people? Why? Like,
is it something that like, because like you brought it up a few times now, and I wonder, like, is it something that like you did a lot, or did people do it a lot to you that it became such a talking point for you?
What's that?
Comparing yourself to others.
I used to compare myself a lot, you know, to when I was 15 and I had this big depression phase. Yeah. That was when I was comparing myself to people. Why am I 15 years old and I'm not in America acting this and that? Yeah. Why am I 15 years old, but this guy's only 10 and he's acting in a movie like this and that? And that just kind of all brought me down as well. Yeah. And I saw this quote. It was like, comparison is a theft of joy? Yep. From there, I was like, what does that even mean? And so I kind of studied into that. And I was like, I need to like train myself to not compare myself to you got better shoes than me. I got to not compare myself to that. Or this guy's got better shorts than me. I got to not compare myself to that, you know? Yeah. Just stick to my own lane, do my own thing, regardless of if you're better than me and you're much better than me. I just stick to my own lane. I just do my own thing.
Do you still find it something you consciously have to remind yourself now? Is that something that you've like fully bled out of you, or is it something that you still find, shit, I'm comparing myself to someone else now?
I don't compare myself to anyone else except myself yesterday. Yeah. You know, that's the only person I compare myself to, because yesterday I did 100 push-ups less, 6Ks less, 3 videos less, $100 less, 5 trainings less than I did yesterday. But today I did it, so I'm better than I was yesterday. That's the only person I compare myself to. Yeah.
Is it something that like for me, it's quite interesting when I hear people talk a lot about, it's like thieves who have to keep telling everyone they didn't steal the thing. Like it's real easy to tell they're the thief. Yep. And like the idea is like the thing you talk about the most is the thing you're struggling through the most. Yep. So like, do you think it's something that like you still get a lot of people comparing themselves to you? Is it still a big part of your life for you to have it so front and center of your mind right now?
To be honest, I don't even know, because I don't even listen to anyone else around me. Like the only people I kind of have around me are the people that are trying to do their own things as well. And we both just happen to be in the same place, same time, same industry, doing the same things, but different businesses, different this and that. So I don't really compare myself or have other people compare themselves to me. Because if you do, you kind of see it and you kind of feel it straight away if someone decides they want to compare themselves to you. Like if I sit in the same room and I can feel this guy like comparing himself to the socks that I'm wearing, you know, you can usually sense when someone's trying to do that to you. For me, if I do sense that, I don't really say anything. I just kind of avoid that person for good.
Like, that's like, well, I don't know if I talked to you about it, but that's something I still kind of struggle with. It's like comparing myself to like family and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a normal thing for humans to do, is to compare, is comparison. It's not always not always a super negative thing to do.
It's not bad. No.
It's like, sometimes like, it's okay to have like measures, like, and also just to see what's possible. Yeah. Because often if you don't compare, you undersell. So like a lot of people will be like, oh, there's no way I could do this thing. Well, they don't even do that. They don't even understand that it's possible. Yep. And actually, like, because I come from South Auckland too, right? I'm from Manadura. I grew up in Manadura. I went to Roseville College. Like, I grew up out there my whole life, right?
I
was from Melford Street near Leebank. And like, we have like Carter, my nephew, who's also from Manadura. He works here as an intern with us. Yep. And it's been interesting watching him, because he's like me when I was his age, of like, he's starting to realize like what's possible in life. Yeah. He thought, oh, I'm probably just going to get a job as a laborer and just like help some dudes out, maybe get a trade, maybe. Not that there's anything wrong with being a tradesman, but like he didn't know the options. And now he's seen other things that are possible. He's like, fuck, man, I could like really do some cool shit here, right? And like have a massive career. And he's like 17. His whole life has changed, right?
That's good. Yeah.
And it's been cool for like these guys, like, especially like, you know, guys like Connor and other guys who like, not that Connor's like from a super wealthy family, but like much more privileged family than Carter's family, for sure. And so he already has a lot more options in his view because he's got a family who's done so much different things.
Yep.
And a lot of the guys are similar. They've got these like quite privileged places they've come from. And so what my point is that by having these people you can compare yourself to, you actually then open up like, oh, fuck, can you actually do that? Is that a thing possible? Man, that's fucking cool. I want to do similar stuff. But if you, and you did the same, like watching YouTube, watching Facebook videos, right? You saw these things. The bad point comes is where you now look at yourself as a worse person because you don't have it.
Yep.
That's the thing that's toxic.
Or if you don't have it at the same time
the time frame.
The time frame's a hard one.
Yeah. People looking at these young guys, like they watch these young guys on YouTube blowing up. Like people look at like Sidemen Boys or, you know, they look at these guys like, fuck, we could do this. Like, why can't we be that? And it's like, it's just not your time, and they're different places and different locations. But what for me is better is like, I'll look at someone like Gary Vee, for instance, and be like, bro, that's like, it's possible. Yeah. Like 10 years ago, that guy was working in a shared workspace, and now he's got 4,500 staff across 9 offices across the world. Yeah. Like, I don't need to compare myself going, man, am I keeping pace with what he did? But I can go, shit, like actually our agency could be global. Like it could be fucking huge. We could turn over $500 million in revenue in 10 years time. Yeah. But coming from South Auckland, bro, there's no way that that's a possibility, right? Like, whereabouts in South Auckland did you grow up?
Manurewa, bro.
Oh, bro, fuck, you know what I'm talking about then.
So where you stay around in Leebank is where I used to. Do you know where before the bridge there's a St. John's? That's where I used to go as a kid, bro.
Yeah, bro, I know.
So I just lived down the road there by Alfreston.
What street? On Alfreston?
Yeah, like along Alfreston. Yeah,
bro.
I went to AC. Yes, shout out AC.
Which one?
Alfreston College.
Oh, Alfreston College. Yeah,
so I was there my whole life, bro.
Yeah. Which primary school did you go to?
I went to the Gardens, and then I was at Everglade as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you're on the nice side of the tracks.
I was on the other side of tracks. Bro, I was on the other side of tracks, bro. I was by Norfolk Park. Yeah. But you get it, right? Like when you come from that area, there's no way to think that you could one day have a business that turns over $500 million a year. There's just no possible way you could even think that's a possibility. There's just no way. But by being able to see these guys and comparing, you're like, fuck, maybe I can. And so I think there's like something I learned actually, because I was like you, like I didn't want to compare myself to other people because I thought, and actually it hurts if you start to do comparisons because you're like, man, I wish I had that thing.
You become a really bitter person, bro.
Yeah,
like you start to shit on other people that are actually doing really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like you only compare one way. You only compare yourself not being good enough. You never compare the other way. Like, oh my God, I'm doing so well.
Yeah, exactly. You never look at the people that you went to school with who are fucking doing nothing with their lives and go, bro, that, like you never go, like, because you always make an excuse like, oh yeah, but he's useless or they don't do this or they don't care. It's like, yeah, but like that's the average. We're not the average. They're the average. So I think it's like an interesting point to like understand, and you fundamentally get it, but I think like words like are real powerful. And
words are 100% powerful. You can't even tell if you tell yourself that you're stupid, your body can't tell the difference, so it will automatically think that you're stupid yourself. If you tell you're smart it's like positive affirmations, right?
100%.
You have to tell yourself, bro, I'm the best. Yeah, I'm doing good. Like, I've got everything I really want right now. I should be happy. And I'm happy.
I use it a lot with the guys too. Like, often, like, maybe not so bluntly, but I'll choose the language right. Yeah. Because, like, I don't want people to say not to compare themselves to others. What I want them to say is that, like, I don't need to be that other person. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't need to feel bad because I'm not where they are. Yeah. What I want to do is like, fuck, how did they do that? And then you learn from it. Yep. And then you're like, okay, I see the steps they took. I'm going to combine it, use my situation and take my own steps forward. Yeah. But I think there's sometimes danger in going, like, I don't compare myself. Because otherwise, like, how do you know you're doing anything good? Like, how do you know? Like, you're like, oh, it's good for me. But like, what does that measure come from? How do you know what's good for you? Like, where do you see it? Like, what do we think healthy relationships are? How do we know that? Oh, because we see them. Yeah. Or we see successful stuff that we want to have or want to be part of. We can't help to not, like, it's impossible for humans to not be part of society. Yeah. Like, that's an impossible thing. You can't just like, oh, I'm just not going to be part of it. Even the act of not being part of it is
still being part of it.
You're still
there.
Your antithesis still
regardless
being part
of
of it.
Life of game, you're still playing it. Even if you don't want to play it, you're still in the game always till you die.
Exactly.
So you might as well play the game, right? That's just how it is. Yeah.
So without comparing yourself, what's the goals? What are you trying to do? What's your goals?
My goal the same.
Yeah.
Doing everything.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm doing right now, I just want to be the best at.
Yeah.
I don't really have a goal in mind, but for me, one day I just want to have kids. I just want to be a good dad one day. That's it. That's where it ends.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, if I can do everything, if I can show that everything's possible, like how you were saying, just planting the seeds, showing that it's possible, bro, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't really have a goal to be the best at this or better than someone at this or that. I just want to be the best for me.
Yeah.
Really, you know, like at everything I do.
Yeah. What are some of those things that you want to be best at? The things that you said in the intro, or what else?
Like what I'm doing now, like fighting.
Yeah.
I want to be the one that trains the hardest. That's why I train 9 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be the best at that for myself.
Yeah.
Content, I want to make the best content I think is good for myself.
Yeah.
So I put it out there and people just happen to like it.
Yeah.
That's all it is really. Yeah. So little stuff like that.
Yeah. What are some of the, like, outside of training and content, is there other things that you're actively working on to be, that you love and trying to push forward with?
Just I like to talk to my friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or people that are around me, because I love to get to know people.
Yeah.
You know, even if someone's strange or they're weird,
Yeah.
usually people avoid those people. For me, I like to sit down for a whole day and ask, so where'd you come from? Where did you start? How's life? Yeah. Like, why are you the way you are in the nicest way possible, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to know why they are the way they are, and that gives me a more respect for them. Not that I don't respect them already, but for me, it's like, no one else knows that, because they didn't even bother to get to know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I took the time to sit down and actually get to know you. So for me, I have more respect for you now, just sitting here listening to you talk, because I know like what you're thinking, how you work, where you came from, what you're doing. And for me, it makes me happy knowing other people, because I was always that weird kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one wanted to talk to me. No one wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
They didn't want to have me involved in anything. I didn't get invited to parties. I didn't go anywhere. I just stayed at home.
Yeah.
You know? So it was like little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's your way of like going, I don't want what the world did to me for others that come into your world.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I just want to, I want to be there.
Yeah.
I just want to be there.
Tell me about the career side of it. Like, how are you sustaining this lifestyle?
How am I balancing it?
No, sustaining it. Like, you know, like where does the revenue income come from?
So that comes through sponsors.
Yeah.
Through like TikTok and Instagram. So that's where it's coming from for me at the moment.
So that's purely how you're sustaining this lifestyle, just all off that, like brand sponsorship.
Or
deals
if I'm working stunts or acting, then
you
know, obviously we get paid through that too.
Yeah,
so
okay, cool.
Yeah.
How much is that side of the business, the stunt and acting? Is that still something that you're trying to work towards, or is it saying that you're getting a bit more regular gigs now?
Ever since 2019, when I started to like, you know, look at myself and self-reflect a little bit, I kind of focused on it a little bit more.
Yeah.
From when I was 16, it was more, I just want to be an actor. I want to move to LA and do this and that. Like, but there was no goal. It was just that.
Yeah.
And then so I had to look at it from a realistic side of view. I actually went to America when I was 19 and lived there for a while.
Yeah.
But then ended up getting into a shooting, chased by coyotes, chased by mountain. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I got my friends were there with me too. It was insane. There was a vlog of us getting into the shooting. It was insane. So for me, I moved back to New Zealand. And I was like, oh, well, there goes America for now. I'm not going to go there at the moment.
No,
so I'll just build myself in New Zealand. Why not just build myself in New Zealand first, build my credibility before I go, so then I actually have something to show to people.
Yeah.
Rather than just going there with nothing and then setting myself up with nothing with people that don't even know who I am. Why not just stay here first, build it here, then go, you know?
Nice.
And that's what I'm starting to do a little bit more now.
So it's getting a bit more consistent instead of that work? Or is it still like a bit few and far between for now?
It's been pretty consistent.
Okay, cool.
For 2 years now.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
Yeah. So I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Just
both film and TV, or mostly film?
I just film and mostly film.
Mostly film.
TV every now and then. We just had a show come out called Give Me Babies on TVNZ. So
okay, cool.
That's amazing too as well.
Yeah. Are you acting in that stunt work?
Both.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah. So I got pretty lucky to be involved with that. But it just comes from doing everything 100%. You know, whatever you're doing, you have to just do it 100%.
Yeah.
Before I got into content, I worked my job full time for 3 months, every single day for 3 months straight.
Yeah.
Before I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit my job now. I've got a little bit of money saved. I can quit my job, try this content thing, and if it doesn't work, bro, I can always come back to my job. Because I asked my manager, I was like, oh, if I leave and this doesn't work out, can I come back? And he was like, yeah, you can always come back, bro. He still asked me to come back now.
Where was it?
It's at Noel Leeming.
Okay, cool.
So I was working there for a while. And He was like, "Oh, bro, you can always come
Nah,
back."
bro,
He still asked me to come back. No, I'm like,
retail's
I'm not
always
coming
looking
back.
for workers, bro.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
always get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard to always find another job, if you fall back on. May as well give shit a go.
Yeah. Like, you can always chase your dreams, and regardless if it fails or not, at least you can always go back.
Yeah.
But people think, oh, if it doesn't succeed, then my life goes down from here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a learning lesson. You wouldn't have known what you known if you didn't go through that. But now you do.
Yeah.
Start back here and go again. Now you know what to avoid. Just find another path now. But people just think, oh, this way didn't work, so I'm going to give up now.
Yeah.
And that frustrates me because there's always a way. If someone's doing it, it's possible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And not everyone has the same path that they lead in when they go.
Yep.
It's always a different path. But people think, nah, you did it this way. So if I don't follow it this way and it doesn't work for me and I fail, bro, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But they don't know that they have their own journey. They have their own path as well that they need to go through themselves. But people don't get that.
Nah. And look, that again, I think you just said the answer, right? They will get it, but they got to take their own journey to figure that out.
Yep.
You know, like that's kind of what I was saying before about my brothers and everything. Like, you can't tell them, it's no point in saying they don't get it.
Yeah.
They're on their own journey to figure it out. You know, like, although you might try to do it my way, it doesn't work, and you're like, it doesn't work. You don't get it. It's like, yeah, you could say that, but like actually, they're on a path to figure it out.
Yeah, that's a way better way of saying
You
it.
know
Now
what
I'm
I
going to take that now.
Yeah. And I think it's just like I think you would have figured, you get that.
Yeah.
I think me just articulating it that way, you already understand it. So,
and
you know?
plus you have way more experience, so it's
of
better
course.
for me to shut up and learn off you, bro.
of course.
It's the best, bro. I love to shut up and just listen to people that are much better than me because that's the only way I learn.
But it's like you're saying, like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's this is why it's like an interesting topic to have, because even you saying that, you're on your journey. Part of your journey was to hear me say that back to you for you to figure it out, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's the interesting thing. Like, people talk about like everyone's on their own journey, but then they'll say the but there is no but. Everyone's just on their own journey. Like, there is no but. Oh, but you know, you'll figure it out or you'll get that. No, it's like, they're just on their own journey. You can't add anything to that conversation. Like, you can't be like, oh, you don't get it or whatever, because there is no other thing. They're just on this line and you can't take them off it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
They're on it. They're going to find their own way.
Yeah.
And so, you know, even you saying, oh, you know, got to listen to these people. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you do or not. It doesn't matter, because like, whatever happens will happen. Like, you'll do it or you won't do it.
Yeah.
There's no point in like dwelling on it.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier. Okay. Tell me then, so you're sustaining yourself with like some acting gigs, some stunt work, bit of social content, sponsorships and stuff. Over the next like sort of like 1 to 2 years or 6 to 12 months, like have you got some like, you know, you're pretty ambitious. So like, what are those goals you're trying to tick off from like an acting perspective, a stunts perspective?
I can read
content?
you what
Please,
I wrote
bro.
at the start of the year.
Amazing. Love that. I love someone who pulls out goals.
Yeah, I always do it. I
good.
do it yearly.
I'm the same.
Just
Yeah.
you have to. Like,
We do it as a team.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to, but yeah.
We do it quarterly as well.
Yeah, so I always have the quote, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Nice.
1st of Jan, you know, like right at
Love it.
8 o'clock PM. So yeah, just have at least 4 to 5 Muay Thai fights just as a goal for myself.
Cool. Nice.
Travel 3 to 5 countries, star in 4 to 5 movies, model at least 3 to 4 times, do my own film, which I'm currently in editing at the moment, which is cool.
Cool. Awesome, bro.
Do 3 to 4 podcasts, fight in Thailand again, which I'm doing next month.
Yeah.
Own more than 4 businesses, which is, you know, it's so hard to do, but bro, I'm trying my best, obviously.
Yeah.
Get my own place, and
Yeah.
just like little goals like that, and
Love
then
it.
how much money I want to make for myself personally. But I keep that for myself. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You don't have to answer this, but why do you keep that bit to yourself about money?
The money, because money to me, it's pretty evil. I reckon
Yeah.
it's pretty evil because people use it in such an evil way, and then if someone says they got more than someone else, people end up dying and this and that, and I just don't want to get involved in that.
That's
I'd rather just
interesting,
go, I make money. That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you how much I make or why I make this much, because what's that going to do for you?
Yeah.
You know, if I can show that I can use it in a way to help
What do
myself,
you
then
think
it
if there
helps.
was like a young kid like you, who's 15, getting bullied, people picking on him, and he's like, man, how do I find this way out? Doesn't think there's any way. And then he hears your story and here's what you earn. He's like, oh, hey, maybe I could follow a similar path at least. Maybe not the same one, obviously, because we just said. What if that is the inspiration he needs to get out of the rut he's in?
What, money?
Just the idea that there's possible to live.
Well,
you know, because
for me, I've never really lived by money. So it's like, if I do the things I love now, maybe the money will follow later. Yeah. That's just from there. That's how I've lived. If I do what I love now, maybe the money will follow. And if it doesn't, I'll always find something.
And there is like, that's like, it's relevant for certain people, right? Because everyone thinks of money differently.
Yep.
But some people like genuinely need to understand like just the way their brains work, right? Some people we did this thing in our team called color energies, and it's like personality profiles, but it's about communication styles, and what things they need to be able to make a decision. Yep. And some people they call them blue heads. They need data, and you can have whatever philosophy you want on money, but they need data. They need to see like, so I can support myself doing this. Yeah, I need the evidence. Yeah. And you're someone like me who's like a bit more visionary, right? Like a bit more like pie in the sky. Like if I can believe it, I can make it. Yep. But like quarter of my team out there, they'll tell you to get fucked. No, because they can't do it. Yep. But it's not their fault. They're not. They've got their strengths that they're better at than what I am. But for them to make a decision, they have to be practical about it. They have to be quite solid and going, okay, I get it. Yep. So this guy's making, let's just call it, he's making 100 grand, let's just say. Yeah. He's making 100 grand. Fuck, okay, that's a viable option. I'm this weird kid who like gets picked on, but actually I love doing these things. Is it right to double down on them? And now they're able to see these other people, these heroes that they can look at and go, fuck, okay, I don't need to be that guy. Yep. But like we said at the beginning, like you now gave them options. Yeah. You know? So I wonder that, like, it's saying that we, like, my approach to it is full transparency. Yep. Like our, like the team, I don't share their stuff publicly because I don't make the decisions for them, but internally, all their salaries are transparent. Yep. They all know what each other earn. There's a fucking spreadsheet they all have. They're
I'll show you right now if you want.
Yeah. No, right. No, you can. Like, it's all there. The P&L, like the amount of money that we generate. Last year we did 2.4 million.
Oh, congrats, bro.
This year their forecast is 4.8 million. Look, it's congrats. Like, but like revenue is one thing. Yep. And profit's another thing. How much money I actually get is a whole nother thing. I don't get 2.4 million. I'll tell you that fucking much. Yeah. God will tell you I don't get that much. Obviously, as time goes on, I'll get more and more. Of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't put as much effort in. Obviously, one day I hope I get 2.4 million in 1 year.
I hope you too.
And hopefully in times more. Yeah. And that's why we reinvest. But like the thing I think about money is that when you start to look at it as being evil, it forever holds you. It's forever got control of you. Yep. And whether or not you try to say it doesn't, it does. Yep. Because you've got this mental glitch in your head that money controls me because if I talk about it, I get in trouble. Yeah. And that's why like the more transparent you are, I think, is that it's like I always think of it like B Rabbit in 8 Mile, right? Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you're putting all your shit up out. Yep. Now all your weaknesses are out there for everyone. Yep. They can't come at you.
True. They
can't come at you because there's like no one can judge me and my business because they like everything's out in the open. Yeah. They can't ever go, I wonder how much he's making. Bro, I leaked our budget to the world. Yeah. And just gave it to everyone. Yeah. And so I think there's like a weird relationship, and like I see it a lot in people from South Auckland actually, is that they never talk about money, and it just keeps them poor because they don't actually understand like what's possible. Yep. And then they'll look at something like, $1 million, they'll think that's heaps, and like for a lot of people it is. For a lot of people it's fucking shitloads, and like I'm not naive to that, but like actually you can't even buy a house in New Zealand unless you got $1 million. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's actually not that much. Like the basic necessity of life you can't buy unless you got $1 million. Yep. But a lot of people think $1 million is a lot of money. Yep. But actually just to own a home, you need that much. Yeah, facts. Yeah, look, good. Facts. You get a loan and whatever, but still, at some point you had to earn $1 million. Actually, if you get a loan, you probably have to earn $2 million to pay off the $1 million home, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh. So like, it's just something to be considerate of, like for yourself. Like, if you keep the money as a secret and and you think that if I talk about it, it becomes a problem, then it'll always have a hold on you. Yep. And it'll always like grip on. Yep. It's like Voldemort, right? Like if you don't talk about Voldemort, then you won't come back. That's not true. Yep. Like the more like in Harry Potter and a lot of those movies, books, when you don't talk about the thing, you give it power. Yep. Because now it's like the fear of it's what gives it its power. Yep. And also Harry Potter's a shitty reference, but no one talks about Voldemort, and then he's able to play in the dark.
Yep.
And you see it in lots of movies. You don't talk about the bad guy, and the bad guy can shift in the dark.
True.
No one can see it, right? And it's the same with money. Like
Yeah.
people always like think of it, it's a root of all evil and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's only that because like those with it keep it a secret.
Yeah.
And those without it are too embarrassed to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I talk about it with all my friends and the people I work with,
Yeah,
you know, or business people that I work with, I mean. So for me, it's nice to share it with those people that you already work with or friends that you're close with. But publicly, it should never be the goal if you want to get into something like acting, you know?
Yeah.
Or,
for sure.
Or content, you know? Why would you get into content for the money? Because if the money doesn't come in, you're going to give up on it. But if you do the content because you love it, you're going to keep doing it regardless. Because I've been doing content since I was 8.
Yeah.
I never did it for the money, you know? And then money just started coming in when I was, 21, 22? And from there, I'm still doing the same things, living the same life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just got a little more now I can invest. So I definitely say invest early.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a kid out there watching this, bro, start investing early.
Yeah.
Like it's never too late to start investing.
Yeah.
Especially right now.
Yeah.
Bro, it's the best time to.
What is that like? Not that you're going to give financial advice to them.
I'm no financial advisor
but
or anything.
Do you invest? How do you invest?
So I just invest in stocks, shares, obviously crypto, you know, stuff like that. So I'm real into that.
Okay. I think it's an interesting conversation. I think it's an interesting conversation that we probably don't have heaps of time for because it's kind of cut me off. But like, I find it a fascinating topic to hear how people feel about money because it's a taboo topic.
Yep.
It's one of the 3 big ones, right? Politics, religion, and money. Everyone struggles to talk about one of those 3.
Yep.
And for me, money's like the one I just never have had any problem talking about. I never had any money.
Yeah.
Like I grew up poor. Like I didn't have any money. But then it's quite interesting because I grew up poor with other people and they also can't talk about money, but then I can. So it's not about being poor. It's just like I had this weird relationship with it where I love to know about it.
Yeah.
And I purely look at it as a tool now. Like it's purely
only
just
a tool. It's only
and so
a tool.
therefore it doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
So therefore, like the reason I can talk so openly about it and publicly about it is because it's like it'd be like talking about my hammer. It's the same thing. I'm not going to hide my hammer.
That's never looked at it like that. But
it's because people always go, "Oh, it's like a tool." It's like, what you'd tell everyone about your hammer if you're a builder, wouldn't you? So why aren't you talking about the money if you're an investor?
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
But it's the same thing, right? Yeah. And I think like we had this conversation. I think it was with who did we have this conversation about money? Was it like Ketis or someone? I can't remember who it was, but like. It was like one of the first episodes we had. I remember having this conversation with someone about like money. You shouldn't make content for money because that's dumb because it pays nothing for ages until it pays, right? Yep. And even when it starts paying, it's not a lot until you're KSI and you launch them fucking, you know. But like, when you start to think of money as a tool properly, it actually becomes you have no emotional connection to it. No one can hurt you with money. You can never be hurt around the topic of it. Like I can just like even these guys when I'm telling them not to spend or whatever, it's never emotional. It's just purely the money's not there. They want a pay rise. There is no.
Yeah.
You see, where are you going to get them pay rise from?
Yeah.
Like it's not. I'm not doing this emotionally. Like it just isn't there. Like when he wanted a pay rise last year, it took him a year to like build a business case.
Yeah.
And he presented to me a business case, and I was like, yeah, fine. Business case makes sense. You can have your pay rise.
Yep.
Like it's not emotional. Like, and then what it means is that you can scale your money real fast.
Yeah, facts not feelings, bro. That's the only way to do it. But that's with everything, right? Facts not feelings. If you do everything with your feeling, you're not going to do anything. And if you do everything by the fact, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think like the way I look at it is like your feelings or your emotions guide you, but the facts give you the plan. You know, like I wouldn't be doing this business off facts because there's better ways to make money, but I wanted to do it. Yeah. You know, there was a passion behind this sort of shit, making content and all that. And I suck at making content. That's why I got all these guys to make content for me. But I love the world. Like I've always loved film. I've always loved TV. I've always loved anime and cartoons and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And video games.
Right.
And so I've always wanted to be able to make content. So I got a passion, like my feelings led me this way. But then it was the facts of knowing how to run a business that got me to do it the right way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah.
Tell me about Muay Thai. That's interesting. Where did that come from?
Well, discipline, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was something I was always scared of.
Yeah.
You know, facing another person in the ring.
Yeah.
So why not do it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
Yeah. Just.
And how long have you been doing it now?
I've been doing it for 3 years now.
Where do you train out of?
I train out of King's Academy.
Okay.
In the city. So
yeah.
I
Nice.
drive from Rewa to the city every single day.
Yeah, nice.
So but yeah.
You love it.
It's worth the gas because I love it so much, bro. Because for me, not everyone gets to experience that. You know, standing in the ring with your hand raised up, everyone cheering your name when you're winning. Yeah. You know, because there was that potential chance that you could lose. Yeah. And that's right there and then. Yeah. And also, if you didn't train hard enough, it shows. Yeah. You know, the progress will show when you actually fight. And that's why I love it so much, because it's just raw. Yeah. It's real and raw. That's it.
Yeah, you can't hide once you're in the ring.
You can't hide that. Oh, yeah, I didn't feel like doing 20 push-ups today. Yeah. That will show in the ring. Yeah. I don't want to run today. That will show. Yeah. You know, if you're cardio, you gas out, bro. That will show. I couldn't be stuffed turning up to class today. That will show in the ring too. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So that's why I love it. You can see it. You can see the people that actually decide they want to work hard for it. Yeah. And that's why I love it.
How many fights have you had so far this year?
I've had 0 so far.
Oh, 0 so far. Okay,
yeah, cool. I broke my nose.
Oh shit. Okay.
In March, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I broke my nose in March, and then so I had to take time off to heal it. So that's why I'm going to Thailand to hopefully get all those fights back up.
Okay. So you're gonna have a few while you're there.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah. How long are you going for?
Just a month.
Yeah, just a month.
Yeah. And just me and some boys.
You have 5 fights in the month?
I'm gonna fight here next. I've got a fight in 1 month. Okay. In New Zealand, and then I'm gonna go over there and just fight a bunch of times because why not, right?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I love it. My one of my best mates, Roderick, he's a trainer at in Greyland. Yep. And so I train with him a couple of days a week.
Is that at Knoxfit?
Yeah. Roderick McSwain. Yeah. So he's my best mate growing up. Yeah. And so I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. Don't put us on record. I'm not a fighter. But he gets me to do some shit. Like today, he's going to get me to do some pad work. Yeah. But every once in a while, he'll get his son and like the other boys, the young boys, like who are like 18. And he's just like, just beat him up. And he just doesn't fuck with me. Yeah. And I have these 18-year-old kids who just like absolutely beat on me all the time. And the other day, I think it was Monday, I was doing some kicking stuff or whatever. Anyway, I'm getting so old. Like the last 2 days, my knee just so sore, just walking on it. I've always been like someone who's like done gym or whatever. Or I played rugby for a lot of my life or whatever. But like the fighting stuff, fuck, my body can't handle it.
Yeah, no, fair. Yeah,
it's so hard, but it's cool. He's great.
Fun. Yeah.
Do you know Rod? Have you met him before?
We've just done a film and we've used Knoxfit before. And that's been one of our locations for set. Yeah. So that's how I know that area.
Oh yeah, I should definitely introduce him. He's cool dude. Yeah. Like so he used to be Asia Pacific welterweight champ. Yeah. And so he used to like when Dan Hooker was starting his career. Yeah. Those boys used to like come stay with me in Australia, like sleep on my couch and stuff. And when they first started kicking off, but then Rod, so they all ended up on the UFC's like UFC used to have like a reality TV show. Yep. What was it called? UFC.
Yeah, was looking for
Ultimate Fighter?
Ultimate Fighter. Yeah. So Rod was on that one of the seasons. And the only reason he quit is because he got full custody of his son. He found out he had a son. I think he kind of knew, but he got some girl pregnant when they were young, and then she came out. And anyway, he I don't really know the full story, but anyway, he got full custody of his son. And it sort of took his career back because he's been a dad. Yeah. But now he trains. He's got a gym and he trains a lot of people. But it's cool to watch these kids like do it. Like the reason I was like tapping into it is like the discipline that it comes from learning to fight is crazy. Yep. And when I was a kid, we used to do boxing. I used to do boxing and taekwondo. And the idea was that if you learned all these stuff, people thought you'd become a dangerous person because you'd fight. But actually it's like the opposite happens, right? Facts. Like when you're going to fucking crush that person, there's no point in starting something, right?
Facts.
Do you like, how does that change since doing it as a person? Because you're obviously someone who like people, you didn't really say you got picked on, but you had a tough childhood.
Yeah, I've been picked on my whole life, bro. As a kid. Yeah. Getting bullied, picked on, even bashed, but that's normal. For me, that's normal. That's the life I grew up with. For me, that's normal.
So then now doing this, like, how has that changed? How's that changed that perspective of that? Because it must be
when I was getting bullied, I was always scared of that kid that was bullying me because he was much bigger. But now, as a fighter, I always see the big guy or whoever it is, and I love to fight them. Yeah. It's the challenge of, bro, I could actually beat this guy. This guy could actually beat me. Yeah. But if I don't do it, I won't ever know. Yeah. So I might as well go out there and try. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like he could beat me.
Yeah.
But what if I could beat him?
Yeah. So it's just challenge.
So I'm just gonna go and partner up with you now. We're just gonna go do some CTE sparring and go as hard as we can and see who wins.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I just love war. I just love it. Yeah. I see the biggest guy. I'm like, bro, let's do it. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, you could beat me.
Yeah.
I could beat you. Do you watch the UFC?
Not a lot, but I know enough. Yeah.
Did you watch the Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje fight?
No.
Oh, bro. In 1 second difference. That's all it takes is 1 second difference. You never know who could win.
Yeah.
That's all I love.
Yeah.
So it's that chance.
That chance in competition.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So you got a few fights on. You got a bit of a goals list. How do you feel you're tracking on that goals list?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm doing really good.
You going through it?
Pretty happy. Yeah. I'm
What happens at the end of the year? How do you feel when you don't achieve stuff? What happens?
That's okay. I just do it next year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If I dwell on it, then I'm not. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Why do I need those emotions? Why not just carry it on?
How do you go about achieving those things? Like, what's the plan? Like, what goes through your head? Like, you write those down and then what?
I write those down and then I just start with the smallest thing.
Yeah.
And then eventually I build up to the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I say a goal is 1,000 videos, I just start by 1.
Yeah.
Then I start by 2. Then I start by 3. And if I don't reach 1,000 videos by the end of the year, that's okay.
Yeah.
I still made 500 more than I was going to make at the start of the year anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm fine by that. Yeah.
So just finding the smallest piece possible and starting there.
It's like the getting out of bed and making your bed. And by the time you come home, and if you've done nothing the whole day, at least you've made your bed, your room is clean, your house is clean.
Yeah,
you can go into a nice bed and sleep. So it's just appreciating the small things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Nice. All right, bro. That was insightful.
Yeah.
That was cool. It took a different approach than I thought it might. I went straight off the brief. If I was going to go, what the funny edits was he, or whoever was going to be like, bro, did you even read the brief that I gave you? But that's what this is about. So we've got I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, maybe more if we need to.
Yep.
Plenty of battery life left. You got any questions? Because I finished a little early, so you don't have to.
No, I don't really have any questions.
No.
What do you think about David Goggins and stuff?
I love David Goggins because this whole quote of "don't be a bitch," it's just straight "don't be a bitch."
Yeah,
you can do it. That's it. You can do it, right? Anyone can do it. Yeah. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it right now. Like, what's the difference between the small kid that's trying to do it?
Would you ever go and because he's pretty outrageous, right? Yep. He's not 100%. He's fucking 180% type mindset.
Yep. He's the reason I run every day. You know, it's that discipline, that consistency that you need to keep going, you know. But a lot of people go, oh yeah, I'm motivated here. Yeah. But now I can't be asked. But if you just stay consistent, you'll always stay like this. Even if you don't want to do it, if you just do it, bro, that's all it takes. Just stay consistent.
Do you like that kind of content that's out on TikTok? Because there's heaps of that kind of stuff, right?
I don't watch TikTok.
So you don't even see it.
I have TikTok on my work phone and that's it. I don't even have notifications on.
Do you consume any content?
No.
Really?
Only maybe content I can share to my friends. You know Bullied? Little funny content that I can just share with my friends. But other than that, I don't really watch content.
Do you read or?
I don't read. I just self-reflect a lot. And
what do you consume from outside perspective?
I like to listen to a lot of podcasts.
Okay. So that's content.
Yeah.
That's content.
I love to listen to podcasts because.
Do you watch film?
Nah, I don't.
Do you don't
not anymore?
So you don't. So really, podcasts is the only thing.
A YouTube video here and there, but mostly podcasts. Yeah, I love podcasts.
Why is that?
Because you're listening to a raw story or from someone say, Robert Downey Jr., right? His story was crazy about how he came up. But I want to know why. Yeah. I like to know why. I just want to know why you became how you were, what came from it.
So why not other forms of content then?
I just don't have time. Yeah. I'm just so busy doing other things. And I feel like what I'm doing now is what I'm meant to be doing now. And so I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. It's an interesting aspect to have of people who don't consume content. You do though, so it's not that you
in
don't.
a way, yeah.
I mean, podcasts are one of the most prolific content styles there are, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you add it up on pure minutes of content created, podcasts would be up there with some of the largest pieces of the content banks. But that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
I'll be on a run or I'll be driving. I'll just listen to a podcast. And
Have you tried audiobooks?
No, I haven't.
You should try audiobooks if you like podcasts because
Where do you listen to audio?
You can listen to it on Spotify, Audible.
Spotify. Oh yeah, okay.
Audible's a good one, but Spotify, if you've got a premium Spotify,
Yep.
they give you a certain like couple 100 minutes a month now.
Oh.
For a bunch of podcasts.
Yeah,
so it's quite it's pretty new. It's only the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Audible's like $15 a month. You get one book a month.
Yep.
The reason I was going to say books is like, you can listen to David Goggins' book. It's like listening to a podcast, but it's 4 hours. You get a deep understanding.
Yeah.
So if you like to hear where people have come from, in a podcast, you only get like it's like the soundbite.
Yeah.
But you read someone's book, and like they can go into real detail.
Yeah.
Like a book that I reckon, just hearing your story and like your demeanor of where you come from and knowing like sort of the world you've come out of, you'd probably really like Terry Cruz's book. It's called
About
Tough.
how like
just his life.
Yeah, when I was going through family problems, listening to him beating up his dad helped me a lot, because when it happened to me, I kind of took his approach on it. I take his approach on it now. I don't ever bother to deal with that, because that's just bad energy, right? You don't need the energy there.
Yeah. Have you read his book?
No, but I've heard his story a million times, so
you should read his book, because it goes into depth. It goes right into depth about
how he had to beat up his dad again.
But everything like that. That's actually like, you take that, he uses it as clickbait.
Yep.
That's a tiny part of the book.
True. Okay.
But it's tiny.
Might have to look into
it's almost a bit I forgot it happened.
Yeah.
That's not even the bit I took away.
Wow. Okay, so there's so much more. Oh,
there's
that's
so
amazing.
much more.
Yeah.
About church and racism and money and masculinity and abuse and all the other stuff, right?
Yep.
And fighting for what you believe in and continuing to push. There's so much more into it.
No, that's mean, yeah.
But yeah, if you like podcasts, then you'll love audiobooks.
Yeah,
especially
I'll actually check it
stuff.
out.
Yeah, you should. You should.
I didn't even know there's a thing on Spotify.
Bro, it's so good. And if you're just at the gym doing a workout, it's really good to put on, or a run.
Yeah.
Because like it's like podcasts. You can just listen to them background.
True. Yeah. I'll check that out.
Yeah, cool. All right, bro. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. That was a cool chat. It was something different.